There is a story that has been playing out for centuries, and it's a story about control, illusion, and awakening. It's a story you are part of, whether you realize it or not. The Matrix is real, but so are you. You've always known it deep down, even if you've never been able to put it into words. The world around you, the rules they've forced upon you, the things you've been taught to accept without question. It all feels wrong, doesn't it? It feels like there's something more. Something hidden beneath the surface. Something waiting for you to wake up. Well, you're not alone. You, the chosen ones, are the ones who are beginning to wake up to the truth. The truth that the world you've been living in is not what it seems. It's a construct, a system built to control you, to keep you small, to keep you from realizing your true power. But here's the thing, they can't control you anymore. You see through the illusion, and that makes you dangerous. Dangerous to the system. Dangerous to the lie. Dangerous to everything they've worked so hard to build. This is your awakening. This is your time. You are the glitch in their matrix, and they can't fix that. You are here to disrupt, to shake the foundations of their false reality, and to bring about a revolution that starts from within. Welcome to the real world, the system you were born into. From the moment you were born, the system started shaping you. It started constructing your life from the outside in, dictating who you should be, what you should believe, and how you should live. It didn't ask for your input. It didn't care about your dreams or your individuality. It created a mold for you to fit into, and if you didn't fit, it punished you, silenced you, or tried to break you down until you conformed. You were taught to follow the rules they gave you, to fit in, to comply, to stay in your lane. There was no room for questioning, no space for creativity or deviation. The world you were born into was built on conformity, and anyone who dared to step outside the lines was labeled a troublemaker, a rebel, a problem. And yet, you've always known there was something wrong with that. You've always known that life wasn't meant to be this way. You weren't meant to live in a box. You weren't meant to be just another cog in the machine. But they made sure you didn't know that. They made sure you didn't see the truth. They filled your mind with distractions, with empty promises, with stories that kept you chasing after things that didn't matter. They programmed your mind to crave material wealth, to seek approval, to fear failure, and to believe that your worth was determined by the things you owned, the job you had, and the image you projected. But somewhere deep inside, you've always known there was more. And that knowing, that inner voice, that spark within you, it's always been there. It's the part of you that refuses to give in. The part that still believes in something bigger than the lies they've fed you. And now, you're starting to hear it louder than ever before. It's calling you. It's telling you that there's another way. The chosen ones, you are the wild card. So who are you really? What makes you different from everyone else? You are the chosen ones, the ones who can see beyond the veil, the ones who can see through the illusion. You are the wild card, the one they never expected. You're the anomaly in their system, the one who doesn't fit into their perfect plan. The ones who refuse to be controlled. You might have been told your whole life that you're different, that you don't fit in, that you don't belong. Maybe you've felt misunderstood, isolated, or even outcast. But let me tell you something. That feeling of being different is not a curse, it's your superpower. It's what makes you stand out. It's what makes you dangerous to the system. You are not a mistake. You were born to break the mold. The system they've built is fragile. It's dependent on people like you to comply, to conform, to stay quiet, to stay small. But you're the spark that can't be extinguished. You're the one who will break the cycle. You're the one who will force the system to evolve or to collapse under its own weight. Think about it. Every time you refuse to conform, every time you stand up for what you believe in, every time you speak your truth, you disrupt their order. You disrupt their reality. They want you to believe that you're broken, that you're a glitch. But the truth is, you're not the glitch, they are. They are the ones who have built a world based on lies, a world that suppresses your true power, your authenticity, your freedom. And now, you're awakening to that truth. You are the wild card. You are the disruption they never saw coming, and they are terrified of you. Awakening the truth, seeing through the illusion. For so long, you've been told to accept the world as it is, to accept the stories they've written for you, to accept the rules they've set in place. But deep down, you've always known something was off. The way things worked, the way people lived their lives, the way the world functioned, it just didn't make sense. You've always had this nagging feeling that there was more, that you were meant for something greater, that you were capable of more. And now it's all becoming clear. The illusion is shattering, and you're starting to see the truth. The world you've been living in is not real. It's a construct, a system of control designed to keep you in line, to keep you obedient, to keep you from realizing your true power. They want you to believe that you're small, that you're weak, that you're nothing more than a product of the system. But the truth is, you are so much more. You are the answer to their lies. You are the light that exposes their darkness. When you wake up to the truth, when you finally see through the illusion, it's like a veil lifts from your eyes. The world you thought you knew becomes a prison, and you realize that you were never meant to live in it. You were never meant to be controlled, never meant to be told what to do, never meant to be silenced. You are meant to be free. You are meant to create. You are meant to break through the walls they've built around you and everyone else. This awakening is your power. It's your gift. The truth is, you're not the glitch in the system. You're the solution. You're the one who's going to dismantle the system from the inside out. You're the one who's going to show the world what true freedom looks like. Keep going, keep waking up, keep seeing through the illusion. The world needs your truth now more than ever. You are the change the world has been waiting for. You are not a glitch. They are. There's something powerful about realizing that you, as a human being, were never meant to fit into their perfect little boxes. The moment you realize that, something inside you starts to shift. You stop seeing yourself as the glitch in the system, the outcast, the misfit. You begin to understand the deeper truth. They are the glitch. The system, the world you've been told to follow, the people who tell you how to think and behave, they are the ones who are broken. You were never the problem. The problem lies in a world built on false narratives and manipulation. I remember the first time I truly grasped this concept. I was sitting in a room full of people, all of us looking at our screens, working jobs we didn't love, following schedules that didn't excite us. And it hit me, we were all part of a bigger construct, a system that taught us to fit in, to follow orders, to stay compliant. But we weren't born to comply. We were born to lead. We were born to create, to evolve, to change the world. It was at that moment I realized the glitch was never me. It was the system that was broken. The illusion was not me. The illusion was everything around me. The truth is that you were never designed to fit in. You were born to disrupt, to challenge the norm, to break free. And when you do, you begin to understand the full extent of the power you hold. The world around you doesn't want you to realize this. They don't want you to awaken to the truth that you are not broken. They are. Because if you realize that, everything changes. The moment you realize that you are not the glitch is the moment you step into your full power. It's the moment you stop playing by their rules and start making your own. The system they've built is fragile, and they know it. They know that once enough of us wake up, once enough of us see the truth, everything they've built will come crumbling down. You're not the glitch. They are. And once you realize that, you become unstoppable. The power of nonconformity. There's a moment in every chosen one's journey when they realize that conformity was never the answer. In fact, it's the exact thing that keeps you locked in a cage. For the longest time, you might have tried to fit in. You might have tried to follow the rules, play by the book, and be what others expected of you. I did. I followed the path that was laid out for me because I thought that's what success looked like. But success in their world is a lie. Success in their world means living in a box, following their rules, and obeying their systems. And let me tell you, that is not success. True success comes when you break free from conformity. True success comes when you stop asking for permission and start living according to your own design. I remember a time when I first rebelled against the system, when I chose to leave behind the job I was supposed to love and started my own journey. Everyone around me thought I was crazy. Why would you walk away from a stable career? They asked. Why would you risk everything? They wondered. But what they didn't understand was that by conforming to their system, I was losing myself. I was becoming a slave to their rules. But the moment I let go of the need to conform, I found freedom. I found my voice, my purpose, my path, and that's the power of nonconformity. It's not just about rejecting the rules. It's about rejecting the idea that someone else has the right to tell you who you are, what you should do, and what you should believe. It's about taking control of your life and daring to live according to your own terms. When you step out of the box and reject conformity, you become a beacon of light for others who are also ready to break free. And there's power in that. There's power in choosing to live authentically, even when the world around you doesn't understand. Because when you reject conformity, you not only liberate yourself, you show others that they can do the same. The struggles of the chosen ones. The path of the chosen one is not an easy one. If it were, everyone would be walking it. But there's a reason why you were chosen to see the truth, because you have the strength to face the challenges that come with it. Let's not sugarcoat it. When you awaken to the truth, when you realize the system you were born into is a lie, it can be overwhelming. It can feel isolating. You may find yourself questioning everything: your friends, your family, your career, your purpose. You may begin to feel disconnected from the world around you, as if you no longer belong. And that's okay. It's normal. The path of awakening isn't meant to be easy. It's meant to challenge you, to force you to confront the lies you've been fed your entire life. But remember, this struggle is part of your growth. I remember the days when I felt like I was walking this journey alone. I felt like I didn't fit in with anyone. The people around me didn't understand my choices, my vision, my hunger for something more, and the harder I pushed for the truth, the more resistance I faced. It was as if the world was trying to pull me back into the illusion, but each time I faced resistance, I grew stronger. Each time I struggled, I learned more about myself. The struggles of the chosen ones are not to break you, they are to build you. Every challenge is a test of your resolve, a chance to deepen your understanding of who you really are and what you're truly capable of. And the more you embrace those struggles, the more you step into your power. So if you're struggling, if you feel like you're losing everything, know that this is part of the process. You are being prepared for something greater. The chosen ones are meant to rise above the struggle, to transform it into strength, and to emerge from the fire as something unbreakable. Your power is beyond their control. The most powerful realization you will ever have on your journey is this: your power is beyond their control. The system, the people who seek to control you, they want you to believe that they hold the keys to your success, your happiness, your freedom. But the truth is, they are powerless against the force that lies within you. You are not a victim of their control. You are the creator of your reality. They want you to believe that you need their permission to succeed, to be happy, to live a fulfilled life. But the reality is, you've always had the power to shape your own destiny. Your power is not something that can be taken from you, it's something that lives within you. I remember when I first realized this truth. I had spent so much of my life seeking approval from others, trying to fit into their molds, to be accepted by their system. But the more I tried to fit in, the more I felt like I was losing myself. It wasn't until I stopped seeking validation from the outside world and started looking within that I found my true power. I realized that my worth, my happiness, and my success were not dependent on anything outside of myself. The system they created is based on fear, fear of your potential, fear of your power, fear of what would happen if you realized just how limitless you truly are. But here's the truth: they can't control you, no matter how hard they try. They can't take away your ability to create, to dream, and to achieve. Your power is beyond their control, and once you realize that, once you stop seeking their permission, there's nothing stopping you. You will rise to heights they never thought possible. You will create a reality they can't even begin to comprehend. Because your power, it's limitless, and it's yours. The courage to stand alone. Have you ever felt like you were standing at the edge, looking at a path that everyone else was afraid to take? I know I have. There's a moment in every journey where you have to make the decision. Do you stay in the comfort zone and continue living according to society's rules? Or do you step out, alone, and forge your own way? The courage to stand alone is something that isn't taught in schools or handed down from generation to generation. It's a lesson you have to learn by experience, by trial and error, and often by overcoming your deepest fears. I remember one of the most terrifying moments of my life when I had to stand alone. It wasn't just a physical act of standing alone. It was the emotional weight of it. I had to make choices that my family, my friends, and even society didn't understand. I had to leave behind the safety of the familiar and step into the unknown, knowing that it was going to be difficult and, at times, isolating. The fear of being alone can be paralyzing. We're taught from a young age to fit in, to follow the crowd, to seek validation from others. But there's a deep power in being willing to stand alone. When you're standing alone, you're no longer bound by the expectations and limitations of others. You're free. You're free to create your own path, free to make your own decisions, free to define your own success. And it's in that moment of standing alone that you discover your true strength. I've learned that when you stand alone, you become the person you were always meant to be. The world may try to pull you back into the fold, to convince you that you need to be like everyone else. But the truth is, the more you stand alone, the more you become the person you were born to be. It's not easy and it's not comfortable, but it's necessary. Because when you have the courage to stand alone, you are no longer defined by anyone else's standards. You are defined by your own, and that's where your true power lies. So, if you're standing at the edge right now, wondering if you should take that step alone, do it. You are stronger than you know, and you'll find that the moment you stand alone, you will no longer feel alone. Resistance is the spark of change. Change doesn't come without resistance. And here's the truth no one tells you. Resistance is not your enemy, it's the spark of transformation. When you first begin to step outside the boundaries of what you've been told to believe, to do, and to achieve, you will face resistance. It's inevitable. You'll feel it in your family, your friends, your colleagues, and society at large. People will push back. They'll try to bring you back into the fold, to make you feel like you're making a mistake. But I want to tell you this. Resistance is the spark that ignites change. Every time someone told me I couldn't do something or that I was wrong for stepping off the path, I felt it. The resistance. It wasn't just external, it was internal too. I questioned myself, my choices, and whether or not I was truly on the right path. But as time went on, I began to realize that this resistance wasn't a sign of failure. It was a sign that I was pushing against the boundaries of the system. It was a sign that I was on the verge of something new. It was a sign that change was coming. When you begin to question the status quo, when you begin to reject the limitations placed on you, resistance will show up. And that's when you know you're on the right track. The system fights back because it doesn't want you to wake up, to see the truth, to break free. It wants to keep you in a box, but every time you push against it, you send a ripple through the system. Resistance is the signal that you are breaking through, that you are waking up. And with every ounce of resistance you face, you are getting closer to the change that's meant to happen. So, instead of fearing resistance, embrace it. Let it fuel you. Let it remind you that you are on the edge of something powerful, something life-changing. Because in the end, resistance is not there to stop you, it's there to push you toward your greatest transformation. The rebirth, transforming the matrix. The process of awakening is not just about seeing the truth, it's about becoming the truth. It's about transforming yourself, your life, and the world around you. And with that transformation comes a rebirth. This isn't just a small change, it's a complete overhaul of everything you thought you knew. It's like waking up from a dream and realizing that the world you've been living in isn't real. The moment I realized this, I was terrified. The world I thought I knew, the system I thought I was part of, began to dissolve before my eyes. The relationships that once seemed so solid, the career path that seemed so secure, suddenly none of it made sense anymore, and I felt lost. But what I didn't understand at the time was that this was the beginning of my rebirth. The world I had been living in wasn't real, it was an illusion. And when I let go of that illusion, I opened myself up to something much bigger, much more powerful. The process of rebirth isn't easy. It requires you to let go of everything you once believed, to shed your old identity, and to step into a new version of yourself. And this rebirth isn't just personal, it's collective. As more and more of us awaken to the truth, as more of us shed the illusion and break free from the matrix, we begin to create a new world. A world built on truth, authenticity, and power. When you go through your own rebirth, you don't just change, you transform the very fabric of reality. You begin to see the world with new eyes, and with that vision, you begin to reshape it. The matrix, the system you were born into, is not an unchangeable force. It's a construct, and once you see it for what it is, you can begin to dismantle it piece by piece. This rebirth is your chance to not just escape the matrix, but to transform it from within. The truth is that you are the key to the change you've been waiting for. The power lies within you, and once you embrace it, there is nothing that can stop you from reshaping the world as you see fit. Victory is inevitable. Keep moving. Victory isn't just a destination, it's a journey. And the most important thing you can do, once you've awakened to the truth, once you've seen through the illusion, is to keep moving. The world will try to pull you back. The system will fight to keep you within its confines. And there will be moments when you feel like giving up, when you feel like the road ahead is too difficult, too overwhelming. But I want you to remember this. Victory is inevitable if you keep moving forward. The moment you stop, the moment you let fear or doubt take hold, is the moment the system wins. But as long as you keep moving, as long as you keep pushing against the resistance, as long as you keep believing in your own power, you will inevitably reach your victory. I've been there. There were days when I felt like I was walking alone in the dark, unsure if the next step would lead me closer to my truth or further away. But every time I kept moving, every time I didn't give up, I found myself closer to the person I was always meant to be. And that's the power of persistence. That's the power of knowing that no matter how many times you stumble, no matter how many obstacles get in your way, as long as you keep moving, victory is inevitable. So, if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling defeated, remember this: keep moving. You are closer than you think, you are stronger than you know, and your victory is waiting for you on the other side of that next step. Keep moving, because victory is not just a possibility, it's your destiny, and no one can take that away from you.